right, for the last part today, the second week of covering Dragonbane, we're going to look at gear. And the reason I put gear here is because, honestly, next week is going to be all about combat, and then the week after is going to be all about magic. There just wasn't a good place to talk about gear. And since we're done looking at the skills, I mean, to me, it kind of just seemed like it fit in terms of video. You talk about skills, you talk about heroic abilities. Well, the other part of character creation is figuring out what you're going to have on your character, right? I hope, maybe. So I decided that I'd do it today. So in just a moment here, we're going to look at some of the gear, what the numbers mean, how it affects, how encumbrance works. We won't dive into it too much. This hopefully won't be too boring. It'll be quick, I hope. But we'll find out in just a moment. The best tabletop RPG groups follow these core values to respect the campaign setting, the game, and the people at the table. Refer to the URL in the video's description to donate to the charity we support, the Wounded Warrior Project. Sunday on Rumble and YouTube, we provide tabletop RPG game, system, and setting overviews. Then on Friday, a panel of guests editorialize on the TTRPG hobby as a whole. Thursdays and Saturdays are when Heathen Dog leads his Dirty Casuals video game squad on twitch.tv/legionofmyth. Please like and share this video with your friends and on social media, and subscribe to Legion of Myth for more tabletop RPG content. All right, once again, we have our Swedish duck. I wonder how good he tastes. Is it cannibalism to eat him?
No.
Okay, good. Now we're going to talk about the gear in the game. I think we talked didn't we talk a little bit about encumbrance in the first week, where it's very similar, where it's got the lines, each item weighs a certain amount, but in this one it can go above 2, unlike the other games. So let's take a look at what you can get. Some goods and services are rare, and the player characters cannot expect to find everything they're looking for in any little village. The fact that this has to be written into a game irks me, but I'm also very happy it's there. Because I am so tired of games that have Starbucks-style magic shops on every corner, even in a village of like 5 families.
I'm looking for a war elephant. Oh yeah, Up the Holler Village has that right away.
The circus came through town and we just took one,
Yeah, it just stayed. It's fine. Here you go.
Each listed item has a supply rating graded on the following scale. All right, if it's common, it's available in any village or marketplace. Uncommon can usually be purchased from the artisan making it. Oh, that's cool, which does not mean it will be available in every village. Rare must generally be specially ordered from artisans, and unique can only be obtained in treasure troves or from the person who found the precious item. My precious?
Yeah.
All right. Weapons and armor. As an adventurer, you always want a weapon close at hand and never know where danger may be lurking. The tables on page 74-75 list common types of weapons. Okay, we'll get to that next. The values shown in the table are explained below. Grip indicates if you need 1 or 2 hands. That makes sense. Do we have a weapon here? Where's a weapon? Okay, a knife. A knife's grip is 1 hand. That makes sense to me, doesn't it?
Blunt object heavy, 2 hands. Okay.
Yeah. Strength indicates how much strength you need to use the weapon effectively. Read more on page 45. Well, unfortunately, that'll be next week.
Yeah. So effectively probably means if you're not strong enough, you use it as a bane. Probably.
That would be my guess. The way this game works. Yep. Damage indicates how much damage a weapon inflicts on a hit, and it can be increased by damage bonus and decreased by armor. Which, unfortunately, I know that some people are like, yeah, but what do those numbers mean? We will find out about that next week. Sorry, you're going to have to wait till next week. Durability determines how much damage you can parry without damaging the weapon. Oh, that's an interesting...
You don't see that a lot nowadays, where weapons take damage without being specifically targeted. You usually don't see that. Yeah.
But we'll see how it works, but theoretically it makes sense. You already got treats, so stop it. Range indicates a maximum range in meters at which a weapon can be used effectively. Cost indicates typical price. The actual price can vary depending on local supply and demand. So, game masters, if you want to be boring, say, oh yeah, go book price, whatever. That's boring. Make them pay more. Always make them pay more.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. Don't listen.
Features indicates which features the weapon has. So it can be a subtle weapon. So it grants a boon and increased damage when performing sneak attacks. So guess what? Your little thiefy assassins are going to want that one.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be looking for weapons with subtle on them. Long attacks with this weapon can hit an enemy up to 4 meters away or 2 squares if your weirdo's using battle maps. Toppling grants a boon when trying to topple an opponent. Toppling is knocking people down if you don't know. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down. Piercing inflicts piercing damage, which can affect the effectiveness of armor.
Well, think about it. No, that makes perfect sense because, hard armor, like plate mail, if you have a shiv, you can just get it in between the plates.
So here's my issue with this, though. I agree. But every game I've ever played that tries to do this, it becomes cumbersome.
Yes, it overcomplicates. Yeah, I get it.
Forbidden Lands, if you remember, piercing and slashing actually changed how you dodged and parried, not how damage affected the armor. So all I can say is, I'm not going to poo-poo it right now. I'm just saying my experience is when these 3 things, piercing, slashing, and bludgeoning, are put into the game in terms of armor, it slows things down. Are you okay with that? If you're okay with that, I'm okay with it. If you're not, or if you're always looking at, wait. You should what? Oh, hold on. That means the armor's different. Oof, that could cause a problem. We'll find out next week, though.
Says here that Patty's Parlor Games has rated the stream. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much, Patty's Parlor. Good to see you. Yep, that's over on the Rumble side. So look, it comes with a nice little rocket ship. Can we show the rocket ship here? No.
Didn't see it.
Oh, yep, no rocket ship here.
No rocket ship. Hello.
Hey, there's DM Blackwell, who was on the show on Friday. If you have not checked out Horde Wars yet, go ahead and watch that video. If that doesn't convince you to get Horde Wars, then I don't know what will.
Can you read the armor rating? I'm pretty sure it's takes off damage, but we just glossed over it. No, up.
Huh?
Up.
Armor. Okay, yeah.
Armor rating. Right there.
Armor rating indicates the amount of damage the armor subtracts from an attack. Okay,
just want to make sure.
Okay, Bob, if you're watching, you can only wear 1 suit of armor at a time.
Yep.
But armor can be combined with a helmet. Okay, good. I'm going to be 80 years old. And I'm still going to be using the Bob meme for that one. Eden Dog knows who I'm talking about. All right, so let's just look at a couple weapons. Let's look at a dagger. Everybody likes to have a dagger, right?
Sure.
It's a one-handed weapon. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'll zoom in. It's a one-handed weapon. It uses your strength. It does a D8 damage. Now, this is why before I was like,
hang on. Let's read it correctly.
What?
The dagger, one-handed. It has no strength minimum.
Right.
Its range, if you throw it,
is your strength.
Is your strength rating.
I'm sorry, I did read that column wrong. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to focus on this though. Look at the amount of damage the weapons do. So
that's a lot.
Right.
Dagger. I think that was a lot, but everything does a lot. So armor seems very important in this game.
Very important. But here's the other caveat, and this is actually something I like. Somebody poo-pooed my idea of doing a D20 for damage rolls, especially for guns. Damage can vary wildly. Combat is chaotic. This is one of the reasons why I like to roll initiative every round. It's one of the reasons why I like to roll the 3d6 or 2d6, whatever, something with a bell curve for skills, but I like the idea of a d20 for combat because combat is chaotic. And you never know. So yeah, this one here is going to have a bell curve. It's going to average 4.5, so it's going to average 9 points of damage. With a blunt object heavy. But this D8 can be 1 or 8, and that's just a dagger. And then you add on those modifiers that we were talking about with some of those heroic abilities, like Assassinate or whatever, what those were.
Assassinate, Backstab, does multipliers usually and stuff like that. And then you have, if you're doing two-handed, you can do 2 knives. And you don't have to worry about your strength rating and your offhand because guess what? It has no minimum strength. So you could be a baby and you could still carry 2 daggers and stab people. I don't recommend that. It's a bad visual, but okay.
Now it's going back over here. Now its durability is 6. So apparently we'll find out for sure next week. Apparently it can parry 6 times. Now what is it?
Or parry a total of 6 damage. We don't know.
Well, right, yeah, fair enough.
We don't know.
What did it say here for the cost, range, durability, turns? How much? Okay, it did say damage.
Oh, it is damage. Yep, it can parry up to 6 damage without breaking.
Now, what is damaging the weapon? Again, we'll have to find out next week. So much next week. So it's a common item. So yeah, you could probably get a dagger. Is that still on dagger? No, that's knife. That's knife. So the dagger can actually parry 9 damage.
Oh wow. Okay, but it does cost a gold, which is twice as much as a dagger. I mean, a knife. So
it's subtle. So there you go. So what did subtle mean again? Let's go look at it one more time.
Subtle means that
boon.
Bonus. Yeah, you get a boon when you are performing a sneak attack.
And increased damage. Now, when we do combat next week, we'll find out what that means. But it's not just a boon; it's a boon and increased damage. So
but what I don't like off the bat, they could explain it later. I don't know, but it's a piercing and slashing weapon. Stop it.
Yes.
Choose.
Well, no. So again, some of the weapons have that. Short sword is a perfect example. That I guess dagger in this case is you can either stab with it. However, if you stab with it, you're going to have the different armor effects. So using Forbidden Lands as the example, because I don't know this game, is that determined how the person was going to parry or dodge the attack. And sometimes you would want to
how
use
the armor works. I get it, but now we're getting a mountain of overcomplication. It's getting more and more in my mind.
Well, I don't think so, because I know just using D&D, people would be like, I'm stabbing, I'm piercing, I'm stabbing, well, how are you doing it? It's only going to do one. You're either going to pierce or slash, so you're only going to get the effect of it if you're of one of those at a time. This just means you can do both. You're just not going to be clubbing people.
I understand that, but I'm not a fan.
Okay. Let's go look at something big.
Great sword. That's big. Okay.
Where was that? Is it under G?
Yeah.
Great sword. Okay. Great sword is big. It's two-handed, baby. And now, strength.
You need a strength of 16.
Yep, strength of 16 in order to wield that bad boy. So good luck with that.
Range of 2 if you were to throw it. No, you can't throw it.
Right.
It's just a range of 2, just 2.
It's 2 meters.
2 meters? Okay, yeah.
Yep.
2. So you can hit someone from 2 meters away. And it only does 2d8? That can't be right. That can't be right.
Sorry, I scrolled for a moment because I wanted to see if there's something different there. No. Battle axe handed. Great sword. Okay. 2d10.
2d10, that's better. Okay, that's better. That's better.
2d10? I don't know if that 15 is that weight.
That's the amount of damage it can parry.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so that's the amount of damage. It costs 50 gold.
That's a lot.
It's a rare item. Oh, I mean, you're wasting a lot of metal on this. Come on. And it does piercing and slashing, has no other. So you can thrust with it, or you can
I have to poo-poo on that. Piercing with a greatsword is the dumbest thing you could possibly do with a greatsword. But okay.
I mean, again, it depends on the fight. If you watch martial art fighting, I've seen people pierce with swords that I wouldn't try to do it with or want to do it with. But
I watch anime too. Yeah, that's also not real. But this is a game, which is also not real. So I just invalidated my own argument. All right, fair enough.
All right. Let's see, shields. Small shield. So it's one-handed. What's this 7? I always forget strength. Okay, you need a 7 strength, which isn't a lot, to be fair.
To use a small shield? All right. But a baby can use a dagger, but you need a... Okay, sure.
Well, this isn't a buckler. I mean, I'm guessing that a small shield is
okay. They don't have a buckler? All right, fine.
Maybe? I mean, I'm not looking at every single item that's in the game. So.
I understand, but it would be under shield, comma. So, yeah. I get it. What is it? It does a D8 damage if you were to shield bash. Okay.
Yep.
But, see, I was expecting shields to be significantly more damage absorption than weapons, and I'm not seeing that here. 15 seems nice until you look at some of these other things, which are 12, 15... which are also weapons. This one has one job. Defend yourself from damage. It should do it very well. It should do it better than a sword. But it's not.
Not actually true. And here's what. It depends on the combat rules. 100% of what I'm about to say right now only depends on the combat rules. The combat rules, if they're not done well, he's right. If they're done well, here's the caveat to that. A shield should block most attacks pretty easily. A sword, you got to be skilled with it, and not so easily. So swords can take another sword hitting it. Shields break in combat constantly. Vikings had a really good example of that in, I think it was the first season, where you chop that shield a couple times and it's just a rim, if you even have that metal rim around it. It takes a few blows and then it's gone. So I can understand it depends on the rules explicitly on whether that number makes sense or not. Because if the rules make it seem like 2 hits break the shield that's just completely done, I will agree with Heathen Dog. But if there's some mitigating factor in there about how easy it is to block and or how much it really takes,
or the shield only takes damage when blocking if the person rolls a dragon,
sure, something like that. Yeah,
I'll take that too. I'll take that. Okay, fine. I'll hold judgment.
I mean, it depends on how pedantic you want to get about a game. I mean, you take like a short sword. I mean, a shield's going to stop that all day and all night. I mean, there's not much. You're going to be poking on that thing all you want. You can slash it as long as you got the metal rim on it. You can smack that thing all you want. You got a nice thick wooden shield. Whatever, dude. Especially a metal shield, which, to be fair, most people aren't going to use metal shields because they're really freaking heavy. But when you're talking something like a battle axe, or you're talking something like, well, not spears so much because spears get stuck. Something that's made to chop wood. So pretty much any of your axes should do fairly well against a shield. But that gets really pedantic for a game, though. Mm-hmm. And then Mastercrafted reduces strength requirement by 3 and increases the durability by 3. Now that's pretty
increases the cost by 10. That's
10
crazy.
Times.
Yeah, well, I want a Mastercrafted great sword. It'd be 500 gold, please. I'm sorry, what?
Wait, but once you're rich and famous and you can spend money, I think about it. You're a weak guy and you want that 2-handed sword. You want that great sword.
It's easier to give them more money than it is to work out. I'm like, okay, all right, fair enough.
All right, now we got slings and bows. The longbow here is 2-handed weapon. I'm hoping so. So you need a strength of 13 to wield it, and it goes 100 meters. Okay,
yeah, actually, all the regular bows should be 2-handed, or else they're not doing it right.
Right. Damage is a D12. So again, very widespread of damage there, but it makes sense.
Yeah, but a longbow, is like a, I don't know how to explain it. I get it that it does a lot of damage because you have to put a lot of strength into a very, very small point. Mm-hmm. So if you do get hit by it, it's probably going to hurt more.
But you have to hit well.
You have to hit well, and the crossbow and the heavy crossbow, they have 2d6, which still equals 12, but your average damage is going to be higher because it's easier to hit with a crossbow than it is with a longbow. So I get it.
Heavy crossbows are rare, and so are hand crossbows. Your normal crossbow is going to be a light crossbow, and that kind of makes sense. And yes, so you little assassins out there, you got to hold on until you can find one.
Until you can get that 90 gold for a hand crossbow, so you can be all awesome and have it in your wrist, like a wrist crossbow thing. Like, yeah, I'm super cool. Yeah, not yet. Get rich first.
All right, garments. You can buy boots, cloaks, whatever, yada, yada. We're going to move on. Musical instruments. Look at that. You can buy musical instruments. Bagpipes are 30 gold. You need to make them 300 gold. You are not going to annoy me for only 30 gold.
No. Because I know exactly what'll happen. There's going to be one Scottish, born person or whose parents
just
were
wants
Scottish,
to be one.
grandparents Scottish, and they're actually going to buy bagpipes in every game, and they're going to play on their phone every time they play the bagpipes, the sound of bagpipes, and then I'm going to have to kill them.
Advanced lock picks. So it's a boon on sleight of hand rolls for picking locks. Nice, simple rule. Actually, we haven't found any modifiers here. Everything is just a bane or a boon that we've found so far.
Yeah, which is great. I love it.
You can buy some dice. Chance to determine who wins. You can pay 1 silver at your local store and get dice for the game.
That seems a little expensive, unless silver is the bottom of the barrel and it's not copper. It's just dice, dude. I can whittle that in a stretch rest for something, whatever.
Quiver of arrows. What I was actually looking for, because I saw it up here with the bows.
Yeah.
Is it says cost 1 silver. Well, for how many?
Just 1.
Oh no, wait, that's the bow. I'm sorry.
That's the actual bow
yeah,
itself.
yeah. I'm sorry. I was thinking the arrow.
But remember, we don't actually run out of ammo in this. As long as you have a quiver, you don't run out of ammo. Remember?
Thank you for that reminder. You're absolutely right, because I was looking like how much the arrows cost. You're 100% right. That was one of the things that.
Buy the quiver.
Yep. So if you have a quiver of arrows, iron heads, well, there you go. If you have a quiver of arrows, wooden head, the effectiveness of armor is doubled against the wooden head ones. But hey, they're cheaper by a quarter. So you can buy 4 of these or 1 of those. Hemp rope, silk rope. How much boon for, it doesn't say, 10 meters, so about 30 feet. One of the things that I find funny, I think it was mentioned on the Friday stream as well, is people just don't realize how heavy and bulky and weird rope is.
Rope is, yes. It's especially rope that is strong enough to pull, at least 200 plus pounds. That rope is going to be thick. I mean, sure, it's just like a half-inch thick or whatever. Yeah, but when you start coiling a half-inch thick rope and you get to something like 10 meters, that is not going in your backpack. It's going hanging on the outside of your backpack. That's how big it gets.
I'm going to guess that most people don't have, 10 meters or 50 feet of rope sitting at home. Just go outside to your garden hose.
Yeah, your garden hose. There it is. It's especially in a fantasy setting where high strength polymers don't exist. This is all just, hemp and nonsense. And you're going to have to, if you have a strong rope, it's going to be 3/4 to 1 inch thick. So if you look at your garden hose, which is around a half-inch thick, and you coil 50 feet of that is not a little thing. That is a large amount. That is 2 hands right there. Or
I can tell you that when I'm done, because I don't have I think that those what are those stupid things? I cannot think of. Yeah, I think that they're way too expensive, so I don't buy one. So I do it by hand, and by the time I'm done,
you're tired.
That thing is heavy. It is bulky on my arm. It is heavy. I'm like, get over here. So now we got to some other studies in magic. Apparently, there are going to be foci for spells. That's going to be interesting to read about in week number 4.
Okay.
So I wonder how that works. Orbiculum. Is that supposed to be like orichalcum?
Yeah, orichalcum. Yeah.
But it says orbiculum.
Yep.
Okay.
They decided they didn't want to use the same word. Okay.
Reliquary, a wand. I got my wand. Okay. And then light sources here. Now let's see what is let's pick a typical lantern. There we go. Illuminates a 10-meter radius, burns for 1 shift of time. Okay, that's nice and simple. Some people might say that's a long time. Really, it's not. It's just keeps the game simple.
No. Yeah, I get it.
But roll a d8 after each stretch of time. Oh, burns for up to a shift of time. But you roll a d8
on
after
one,
each
the
stretch.
lantern goes out. Okay, so it's either a whole shift or every 15 minutes you don't roll and you roll a 1, it stops. Okay. So where's lamp oil? There's lamp oil right there. 3 silver, holds 10 doses, and each dose will last for a shift or until you roll a 1 every stretch of that shift, which is a lot of stretches. A stretch is 15 minutes and a shift is what, 6 hours?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is going to be 24 rolls during that 6 hours. You're going to roll a 1 pretty quick. I mean, it'll be like a Jewish miracle if it lasts the entire shift, right? So that is something. Okay, that is different. A lantern, I don't know, man. I make my own torch.
Well, let's see what torches are. Illuminates a 10-meter radius. Burns for up to a shift of time. Really?
Same thing.
Roll a d6 after each stretch of time, or if the torch is used as a weapon. On a 1, the torch goes out. So here's the thing.
Fine. That's fine. 5 copper versus 10.3 gold. Man, I'll take the torch, man. I don't know. It's cost effective.
I mean,
it's cost effective.
I mean, you got
the same radius. It's the same light.
But you're paying for the weight of the encumbrance. It's got a weight of 1, which means it's what is that, an I or a 1? What is that?
That's a 1. I think that's a 1.
So is that 1 full? That's got to be explained. Hold on. No, we need weight explained, because remember, in encumbrance, features, range, durability, supply, damage. Okay, so that's for weapons and armor. Hold on a second, because if we're gonna have to look at encumbrance. That's page
A
74.
torch is a thick stick. It should not weigh exactly the same as an empty lantern.
Just want to see how it's encumbrance, page 28. Okay. So, have you ever had a weapon?
Torches and lanterns. I see it right there.
A torch, lamp, or lantern is an item.
Sure.
Fire may go out. Lamps and lanterns can be refilled with lamp oil. Okay, you're not telling.
That's God damn it.
Carry a number of items equal half your strength. Round it up in your inventory without difficulty. Only item written down in your inventory counts towards your encumbrance. Okay. Helmet, armor, torches, lanterns, or slings on backpack.
So, according to what I'm reading already, a torch and a lantern use the same amount of inventory space, which is ridiculous to me. But
if no way to specify it, it's always a 1. But it did say a weight. It gave a weight of
it said 1.
1. So tiny items. Doesn't say anything there, like as in it's got a specific number on there.
It should say tiny on it somewhere.
Theoretically, yeah. I'm going to go back to that page in just a moment here, but I just want to say I don't see anything here under encumbrance that tells me what we need to do. So was it 76? I think it was. Down more. So weight 1, 2. If it doesn't say
harp
anything,
is huge. I mean, even a hand harp is heavy. It's substantial amount of wood, much more than a torch.
Field kitchen 2. So field
kitchen is a 2.
Okay, so if I'm reading this
1 quarter.
Yeah, what I'm seeing here is this is the same as Forbidden Lands, because a ration in Forbidden Lands would be 4 equals 1 item. I don't like this one here. It's like, so this uncommon has no line. So that's tiny.
It's considered 1.
Yeah.
Why not just put 1?
Didn't it say in the encumbrance that if it doesn't say anything that it's
1? Yeah.
Okay.
So dice is 1? No. Okay, the book lies. If it's a dash, it's tiny. Look at all the dashes.
No, that's not true because I hear what you're saying, but if you look at this, silk rope is a dash.
10 meters of silk rope is a dash. So
apparently weightless.
It's apparently okay. This, yeah.
Okay, the gear section of this book is not doing it any justice.
Is not making sense. Not making sense.
This 4 here tells me it takes up 4 lines.
Sure,
and that would make sense for
and a whistle takes 1. A whistle takes 1.
Well, but we've kind of realized that this is probably tiny.
But there are other things with dashes that don't seem tiny.
I know. Okay, I'm not going to fight it right now. We're just going to go on just to let people know that. Okay, so a torch.
Here's the problem.
5 copper. I would rather treat this like Forbidden Lands. I really would. But okay. Let's go down. Needle and thread. Pickaxe. Pickaxe is 3 gold. Weight is only 1. That's a small pickaxe.
Yeah, pickaxes are supposed to be, substantial.
2d8 damage against a door or wall without risk of being damaged. Okay.
Hits automatically.
Well, it's a door or a wall. I hope so.
It's a door or a wall. It's not dodging, but I like it when it hits automatically because you don't need a skill in it. That's great.
Right. Now, if you're using it as a weapon, it would be an improvised weapon.
Sure.
In fact, I think that's in the list. Increases carrying capacity by 2 for this backpack now. Increases carrying capacity by 2, but you can only use 1 backpack at a time. We kind of talked about that before. Yeah. Saddlebag increases an animal's carrying capacity by 2. An animal can carry no more than 2 saddlebags. Now, before you get all like, but I've seen they can carry 7 of them. It's a general concept.
Yeah. We can talk if you have a mule or a donkey. Other than that, shut up.
All right. Is there anything else we want to... a bodyguard costs 2 gold a day.
You're going to die for somebody for 2 gold a day? You got to be super poor or just not care about your own life.
Well, again, it depends on the economy of the world. I mean, 2 gold a day for a normal person is like a year's worth of income.
Yeah, perhaps so. Maybe it's worth it then.
Meal at an inn is 3 silver. Okay, things are a little expensive here.
Mm-hmm.
A teacher. Oh, hey, we were talking about teachers last week, weren't we?
5 gold per shift or more. I'm sure depending on, how much Max wants to screw you over in your money. That's why they put or more.
Thank you for the or more. That will definitely be utilized. Shift of instruction. Now, remember, that goes to the advancement roll, so I'd probably do something like 5 gold, and then after a certain point, like where you need a really capable, like somebody who's got like a rating of like 14 or something,
Right.
then it starts to cost more.
I can see that.
Bear trap can be used for hunting, okay?
No kidding.
Canoe can carry 2 people and 10 weight units. All right. A combat trained horse.
Oh, I want a combat chicken.
Is that in here?
No.
Oh, no, it just says chicken. Sorry.
It just says chicken, but I want to train my chicken for combat, so it'll cost 400 silver.
I don't like the comment for the chicken though. The chicken says yields one ration of food
when slaughtered. Yeah. The meat should be cooked.
But where the eggs?
Okay, no. It specifically says when slaughtered, but it should say yields 1 ration of eggs per week.
Or something like that. Right, yeah.
Yeah, it should say that. And I understand why it's only 1 ration per chicken, because we as Americans are used to buying chicken at the store. If you buy a whole chicken at the store, it's like, wow, you can feed 3 or 4 people with this. That's because all of our chickens are buffed. They are not natural chickens, all right? They are not. They are bred specifically, and they are pumped full of steroids and all kinds of stuff. So that's not a normal chicken. So I get this. This is fine. This is fine.
So not like everything you'd probably ever want, but everything you ever need in a normal adventure setting. You want to go get a haircut, that's 2 silver. Okay. Heals a chosen condition.
A haircut heals a chosen condition.
I cannot wait until I read
what
next week.
You know what? I bullshit. Heals charisma condition. I could go with that. I could go with that. I could deal with that. After a really good haircut, you kind of feel good about yourself. You feel more confident. I understand. But my haircut cured my muscle tear. No, I'm gonna have to call bullshit on you. No.
Yeah, we'll have to see when we talk about combat next week. We'll have to see. But I don't want to dwell on the equipment anymore. I just wanted to give an idea for folks out there, how to read the chart for the weapon. The weight thing is a little.
I still don't get it. I've been.
Yep.
I mean, so far, even if I haven't agreed with how the book went, I understood it.
Yep.
But the weight and inventory slot thing for the gear, I'm baffled.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm baffled. Let's see what everybody else thinks.
Let me get this off the screen here. And for the pedantic people who want to comment later about this, how we didn't read every piece of equipment and didn't compare, 2-handed this plus 60 gold piece that. Nobody cares. I'm just showing what's in the book out there for you. Okay, that's it. Okay. Now you get an idea of what's in there.
Historically, money trumps training. Yes, I mean, you'd have to have a significantly greater amount of training than someone who has a significantly greater amount of money, because better armor and better weapons equals you better win. So yeah, I get that. Then Marogman says a classic longbow is a 6 or more foot limb, and his string draw is 100 pounds. Yes, you are compressing all of that power into a pinprick point at the end of that arrow. So it has a capacity to do a significant amount of damage. So I understand why that's the only D12 on that list that we saw.
Should I actually him or no?
No, don't do that.
Okay, let's go.
All right. And then All Nerds Nerd says, no. It seems like the dash actually means we phoned encumbrance in. At this point, I'm on board with you. At this point, I think you're right. Yes. And that's all.
There's 2 more I do want. So Nerd says this. To be fair, I generally agree. If it said going to the barber, it specifically said haircut, which I thought was funny.
Said haircut, not barber, haircut.
But
so
I get it. Yeah. It was just funny to me getting a hair
barber.
You'll see. And then where is it? I actually like the slot system. I don't like spreadsheet encumbrance system games. Now this one, we've done a whole bunch of Year Zero Engine games, and this is the worst write-up of how it happens, and
how
I don't know why.
inventory and encumbrance works. Yeah.
And that's the second printing of the book. I have the first printing physically behind me, so who knows what's wrong with that one. But you'd think they would have got it fixed by then. There's something weird about this, because in Forbidden Lands and Mutineer Zero and Coriolis, when it's talking about the same thing, which is the same basic concept, we did not have this problem at all.
No, it was all very clear.
Yep. And I like the idea of Forbidden Lands where you don't know exactly how many torches you have left. You have that die roll, and you know when you're getting low. You're at a D12, you're at a D10, you're at a D8. Now you're at a D6, and guess what? That's the last
really
roll.
Easy to go to a D4 then to nothing. Real easy.
Yeah, this one is kind of weird, but some people are gonna, the gear videos don't get the most views anyway, but that's, some people are gonna be mad that we didn't cover every piece of equipment. Other people are gonna be like, wow, you spent way too much time on there. Either way, we got more videos coming out about Dragonbane. Right now, I'm positive towards it. I still prefer Forbidden Lands. I'm positive towards it, but we'll see how combat next week is really gonna tell me so much. Because we're going to talk about combat, actions, damage, healing, hazards, etc. I can't wait to look at that, and I hope at some point it talks about willpower, because it's just weird that it hasn't told us how you gain willpower yet.
Yeah,
by now, Forbidden Land, actually every one of the Year Zero games would have told us how you get your mutant points or your feral points or your willpower or whatever, and this one just has not done it as of yet. But look forward to talking to you all then.